Write this down, please. Systems of equations, or AKA simultaneous equations. I think we actually talked about this before. Are you ready? I think I gave you one of these problems before. The basic short of all this is you are graphing two equations and seeing where they cross. Graphing two linear equations and finding out where they cross. Finding out where, what's another word for cross that's more mathematical? Intersect. So here's the example problem, which you can amaze your people here. Theo is thinking of two numbers. Did we do this? I think we did this before. Yes, we did. Theo is thinking of two numbers. Theo is thinking of two numbers. Their sum is 6. We did this before, so I remember asking you. What two numbers can add up to 6? How many answers to that are there? Millions and billions. And one number is 10 more than the other. What are the two numbers? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Anybody know the answer to that? Oh no, where did that come from? I always like to, when you get to this point, how many numbers are there? How many numbers is Theo thinking of? 2. So I always like to say this. You always want to define your variables. And it's not so important today as it will be later on. And by defining variables, I simply mean this. You are going to pick letters to stand for numbers. And in this case, it's just, you can pick whatever you want, but usually in math we use x and y. X is the first number, and guess what we'll call the y? No, we'll call second number y. Y is the second number. Now, what two equations can I make from those? Well, the first one says their sum is 6, so what are you going to get? X plus y equals what?
6.
6. The other one says one of the numbers is 10 more than the other. What equation can I get? What equation would give you that? You have x and y, and one is 10 more than the other. Anybody? Now, if you don't know, think of hypothetically speaking. What if you, just for fun, if you said x was 1, what would y have to be?
6.
Now, one number is 10 more than the other.
So 11.
Sure, y would be 11. What did you do with 1 and 11? How did you find that out? You
You
took
added 10.
you took y. I should have probably done it the other way. And added 10 to it to find x, right? Didn't you? If you said y was 1, you said, well, to get 11, I have to add 10 to it, right? Now, can I change that? No, I only want to change it like this. Let's say you picked y. Let's say y was 1 and x is 11, because I want to solve for y, just because it'll make my life easier. Can I do that? Yes, I can. Another way you could say it is what? Let's do it a different way. What happens when you subtract the two numbers? If their difference is 10, what happens when you subtract them? You get what? 10. So x minus y is 10, right? Their difference is 10. Isn't that what it says? 10 more than the other. Let's just do that and call it a day. So what are we going to do with this? Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to graph it. What types of equations are they?
Linear.
Standard forms. Yeah, they're linear, but they're in standard form. How do I graph standard forms? Oh boy. What do we call it? Somebody.
0. Oh, y, x, and y intercepts.
Thank you, Madison. Thank you.
You
So,
1, 0.
first one equation. What are my x and y intercepts? If I cover up the y, x, y is
6.
better know this for the quiz today. 3, 4, 5, 6. If I cover up the y, x is
6.
wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my line looks like this, right? I am going to actually draw a good line. Can I do that? Will anybody be against me drawing a decent line?
No.
I'm going to do this. Oh, wait. Just because I want it to be somewhat close and reasonable. Everybody happy?
Yes.
Ecstatic? Overjoyed? Alright, my next equation is going to give me what? And here's where people go wrong, so please understand this now so when you get to the quiz, I don't have to mark you wrong for this one thing. If I cover up the x, y, or if I cover up the y, x is 10. Is that not a 10? X is 10. This was 6, right? 7, 8, 9, 10. And if I cover up the x, y is not 10.
Negative.
Make sure you know that. This is negative 10. So, unfortunately, we've got an issue here. Anybody know what it is? I ran out of space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's pretend it's down here somewhere. And here's my second line. I'm guessing it's going to go like this. You won't have this trouble because you
We'll have grass paper.
and then the place where they cross should be the answer. Mine is not probably be right because I missed my dots there. But it looks like to me it is what? 6, 7, 8, and negative 2. Will that work? If one x is 8 and y is negative 2, does it fit both of those things? If I add those together, do I get 6? If I subtract one from the other, if I take 8 and subtract a negative 2 from it, what do I get?
6.
I get 10. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Subtracting a negative is adding. So, do you think that's doable? We did do this before. Hopefully they give you the equations. Can we do another one? Or no?
Yeah.
Alright, how about this one? Y equals x minus 6 and x plus y equals 0. Y equals x minus 6 and what did I say the other one was? X plus y equals 0. This is a good one because this one's going to confuse you. It's always better to be confused than not. Oh look, I've got so much time too. This first equation, what form is it in? It is not standard form. Slope-intercept form. Solve for y, slope-intercept form. What's the first thing I do with slope-intercept form, Joseph?
You put the y
Where does my y go?
at negative 6.
Right, so here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I put a dot. And this is where a lot of you went wrong. What is my slope? What number's in front of the x?
1,
What fraction is that?
1/1.
So that means I go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. And that means my line should be actually more than 45 degrees. So it's going to look like this. Positive slope or negative? Positive, so it's going like this. Now, what form is equation number 2?
Standard.
Standard, so I solve it by,
X finding X
Adding a
and
zero.
Y intercept.
Putting a 0.
what is my x-intercept?
0.
What is my y-intercept?
0.
Uh-oh. If you come up with this, unfortunately, this is the only time when you can't really do this by this. Anybody have a suggestion for me? I know it goes to the origin, that's why that's there. I need to find one more point. What could I do to find one more point? Madison?
Take a mini little graph.
Yeah, you could just say this. Just do this. You just need to find one more point. Pick any number for x. Let's say it's 5. 5 plus what number is 0? I'm sorry, what?
-5.
Negative 5. So once you have that point, you can just graph it and call it a day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I might have missed that there. So x plus y is 0. Actually, it shouldn't be that hard because if x is 4, it looks like y is also 4. Oh, actually, it's what? 4, negative 4. Does that work? If I take 4 and add negative 4 to it, do I get 0? Just say yes. If I take 1 times x, what's 1 times 4?
4.
Is 4 minus 6? That isn't right. It must be 2. I'll bet it's 2 negative 4. No, it can't be. Is it 2 negative 2? Maybe it's 3 negative 3. Is it 3 negative 3? Yeah, it must be 3 negative 3. Again, this didn't work because I don't have my thing drawn nice and neatly. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it should have been 3 negative 3. Sorry. Does 3 negative 3 work? Those two added together give you 0. 1 times 3 is 3 minus 6, negative 3.
Yeah.
Congratulations, I think we did it. Enough of that.